It's been so much about Notre Dame community and the fans and the band and the friends that you make. That's where the energy of game day begins. At the game, you just can't sit down the whole time.
We know we are all going to go through this experience of game day.
You're spending basically your whole day in this atmosphere and staying focused on band, but also sharing game day with the people who are there with you.
The band will always be there for each other. Even when that game day is done, you still have a job to do the next week, and the next week, and the next week. It's Friday morning, and we have one morning class, fluid mechanics at 9:25. My name is Jake Miller. I'm a junior. I'm in the trumpet section, and my major is civil engineering. Covering up my delightful section t-shirt. She's planning on walking to class. Awesome. Let's ditch Tom. Bye, Tom. I have to get to class.
See you, Tom.
We have 4 of us live in a quad in Keenan, and kind of waking up, you're kind of getting ready for game day, but at the same time you still know you gotta go to class.
Good luck.
Notre Dame band, Notre Dame Drumline Oh my goodness.
How's class, Jake?
It's good. It's good. I'm ready for some band stuff this afternoon.
Then we'll get this pretty tree in there for senior pictures for Teresa, who's the band president.
My name is Laura Gruszka. I'm a senior, a double major in English and music with a creative writing concentration. I am a member of the Drumline.
On game days, I don't normally have class, so I try to practice some of the mallet feature early.
The set of bells that I have in my room is the starter kit that I started playing bells on when I was 10. And that's another virtue of having another drummer as my roommate, that if one of us is practicing in the room and the other's doing homework, we can kind of talk about the music.
Cool. I know that better than I thought I did. Kind of pack up and then go to lunch.
Drummer spot! Drummer spot!
Don't. You texted me. You don't have to yell at me.
No, I'm yelling at the camera. This is drummer spot.
We are on our way to the dome. Walking to Trumpet under the dome is kind of like the anticipation and the energy of game day is kind of, this is the first pit stop for that game weekend on that Friday.
Are you pumped?
As pumped as you can be on Friday.
We're gonna make our way up to the second and third floors of the dome. I think we're in like the slow section.
Yep.
I'm gonna be the last one on. I love band. So now the entire band gets into parade block, and we will march out to LeBar Field, where we'll have a practice and a little performance for some fans.
That was midday drummer circle.
Okay.
We do it right before we do march out. And here's kind of like a taste of what we're gonna do over there at midnight.
The worlds collide. buttons. Are you seeing this?
Look at this!
The worlds are colliding.
All right, great.
Friday March Out it's the same sort of mentality, but at the same time, you're kind of almost rallying the fans around you with a more casual march out.
Friday's that strange combination of practice and performance. While you're in public, so it feels like a performance, but you're still practicing things that if you mess up, it's a different feeling than if you're in uniform.
Alright, great march out. Get some water and meet you in pregame.
Yeah, that was really good. That was a really solid march out.
And we march straight into a rehearsal, which is an open rehearsal. Really cool that people kind of get to see what it looks like almost from the ground level by sitting close to the field rather than up in the stands and seeing our formations.
Spooky on 3, 1, 2, 3, spooky!
Drum major friends.
So that was a pretty good march out, wasn't it?
That was
Actually, I thought
solid.
it was really solid.
Yeah, the back was good.
Now we're tasting a meal at drummer spot.
I got butterflies before every Midnight Drummer Circle, but it's a performance and just sheer fun where there's not a need to be serious or stoic, and of course you have to be appropriate and responsible, but you can kind of let loose and almost feel like you're part of the crowd and get people hyped.
Drummer Circle is one of my absolute favorite parts of Game Day weekend. It's a chance to kind of, do all of your game day cheers while you're supporting, the Drumline members who are actually in a performance at that time. Most band kids will be with their section during Drummer Circle, so it's a good time to hang out and kind of get fired up for what that next day entails.
You're tired, but you can't think about it because you're just getting started.
Morning. It's 7:30 in the morning.
So I have to get up extra early on game day mornings because I'm one of the band social chairs, and it's our responsibility to get here a little bit early and set up a serving line for cereal.
No problem. What'd you like?
We saw a dog on the way here.
Really?
So that was breakfast, kind of. Okay, now it's the band room.
Yeah, you get to bed pretty late, don't get a lot of sleep, and then have to get up early for a Saturday morning march out and rehearsal.
We're about to do warm-ups. Well, there's not much of us here. Where it all begins. Also, it's so warm today, but this is nice, so it's gonna be a good game day.
I was kind of stumbling and bleary-eyed for something that you might not be mentally prepared for. Just suddenly you're playing and you're going.
There are students from some halls that will come and meet us at the library and kind of cheer us on during this march out. A morning march out will wake you up. It'll wake the band up, and it will probably wake most of campus up because we are a 400 member strong marching band. And after morning march out, we are in Loftus for one final run through of halftime and pregame.
Yeah, after rehearsal, different sections go to different dining halls in the Drumline. We'll all go to the same dining hall and eat together.
So we just had brunch, and now Jake and I are going to Starbucks before we have player walk and concert on the steps and the game itself.
We are at Bond Hall. We are about to do our concert on the steps. Looking forward to fitting 400 people on that staircase right there. We have made our way over to the dome, and we're getting ready to go back up where we were yesterday. This time we're in full uniform.
Saturday, Trumpets Under the Dome is different from Friday in the fact that there's almost like a tangible buzz in the air, because right after we go immediately straight to March Out and right into the stadium.
And now it's time for March Out. And I know I keep saying this is when it really begins, but this is when it really begins.
They're so good. Oh my gosh. And Trumpet.
Yeah, game day march out is something. Normally involves a lot of sweating. Well, the energy follows you from march out into the tunnel. And so you're kind of taking the energy of everyone you pass and bringing it with you.
Woo! We're here. We ended up next to each other at the end of the March Out.
Good March Out.
And we are drenched. But it was great.
We're waiting our turn, and then once it's go, once it's get information for trot, then kind of get the goosebumps. The game, you just can't sit down the whole time because you have been going non-stop for 24 hours.
I think when people say that the game is only fun if the team is winning, I think you should take a look at the band, that it is almost the band's responsibility, even if the team isn't doing well, to kind of keep that, good spirit up.
All right, so now we're about to go on for halftime.
We just finished halftime. We have our lovely third quarter apples.
The most crucial part of any halftime performance is post-halftime apple. Delicious.
I think our post-game performances show that win or lose, the band will still go on the field after the game and play at least one final victory march before we leave the stadium. I think it just shows the work ethic of the band. Once you take your uniform off and hang it back up, you kind of almost reflect on what happened that day, if it was good, if it was bad. Even when that game day is done, you still have a job to do the next week and the next week as the year goes on.